I'm very happy to introduce today our wonderful guest, who is a brilliant alternative energy healer and practitioner. She works with many different aspects of alternative healing, and she has a website called Quantum Energy Healing sunshinecoast.com.au. And you can see her in the photo there in the red dress, and that's her son Felix in there. But she's not coming on camera today, but we're going to chat all about the incredible things that she offers for people to work with their own wellness. And you've worked with over 500 people, Tracey?
Yes, yes.
Beautiful.
Since I've had the skio machine, I've helped a lot of people with lots of different people have lots of different problems. So it's a broad spectrum of things.
Absolutely. So with the skio, we've talked just recently to a wonderful man, Tom Palladino in America, who works with scalar energy. So for the people that watch that interview, they'll know, have an idea of how this type of energy work actually works, because it's very similar to that. And the skio is a scientific consciousness interface operation system. So it does work similarly because it's working with quantum energy. And so can you explain a little bit about your skio? And I'm going to put an image up on the screen of what it looks like so people can see, have it just a quick look, get a sense of it. Just bring it up on the screen here. Here it is. This is a little image there of the skio machine, and you hook it up with your wrists and things like that. So tell us a little bit about what the skio does and what it is.
Okay, so as Tom explained how, quantum energy is working with his scalar frequency generator, this device is a generator of frequency as well. It's almost like a jukebox with 14,000 different resonance frequencies in it, and it's got a lot of different programs. So it's an energy therapy. It's a skio biofeedback. Quantum energy therapy uses harmonic frequency and vibrations to balance your energy on a quantum cellular level. So these energetic frequencies may leave the clients with more energy and less stress, and then bringing them back into well-being. And so avoiding, if people don't want to take any pills, it's a different style of frequency healing. So it's holistic, it's safe, it's pain-free, it's non-invasive therapy. It can scan, adults, children, animals, places, properties. I've had clients that ask me to clear their property because they had like an oppression that on their, and so we put in the address and we clear it, and wonderful things happen afterwards.
Wow.
Yes, so it's completely different from x-rays or blood tests. So it's offering insight into the vibration and the energetic state of one's individual mind and body. So it scans a human body like a computer, like an anti-malware scan, and rebalances stress disruptions that may affect one's well-being, just leaving you feeling calm and cleansed and rejuvenated and reset, so that your subconscious mind, it clears your subconscious mind and your auric fields, and it allows the body to effectively heal itself, basically, by sort of disrupting any interruptions that might be affecting our nervous system and our emotions and things like that.
I understand. And I want to share with people shortly how incredibly comprehensive it is. But my first question is, how long has this type of system been available, this specific one?
It's nearly 50 years it's been around. So it was developed in America, and it's being broadly used all over Europe now with different practitioners, doctors and physios, and so it is a medical device that is recognised by medical people that they do use it overseas. Yes.
Okay, sure. Right. So it has been around a period of time, but these sorts of things in terms of coming into people's consciousness, they've really started to become much more in people's awareness just recently, I think. And I think as the collective consciousness rises, people become aware of these incredible things that we can access to really benefit our own soul wellness and on holistically, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And so when we work with this, you can do it through distance, or you can come and see you on the Sunshine Coast and book in that way. And so how many clients do you have that are distant as opposed to the ones that come in to see you? Because you have a lot of distance.
Yes. I would say like 90% of my clients are distance healing, because I treat people all over Australia or overseas, or like if somebody's got a dog that's not well, they don't want to put it in the car and bring it over here, so we can work with them. We just get the people to fill in a comprehensive questionnaire with lots of details, and then all that information is put into the computer program, and then we organise a time for the treatment. And then I give them a quick call or a text and say, okay, just be in a place of relaxation. So it's like if you're having a massage, you just want to be quiet and take it easy. And then we do the treatment. And then we get the text or the phone call back saying, wow, something amazing has just happened, So, but it uses remote healing. So they call it quantum entanglement. And Tom explained that very well by using the photograph and putting it, in front of his scalar machine, and you felt the effects. So this is how it works, this quantum entanglement. I can explain with the words a bit better if you like. How that actually works.
Well, I get it. I totally understand. I like the word better than understand.
Yes.
What you're saying, because everything is connected in a quantum field, and so you are able to go in that field and just shift so many things. Because you sent me information after you worked on me, and I was blown away by all the different things that it's working on. And then you actually sent me an analysis of everything that you'd done, and there were so many elements to it. Can you go through perhaps some of the different elements that you cover specifically with this system that you use?
Okay, so it has a few different programs in it. It has like an electroacupuncture. So I say you've got a headache. I can type in headache and it will send all this. So under headache, it's got numbers 67972 and like a whole bunch of different things that make up that frequency, particularly for headache. It's like, if you go onto YouTube, you can Google, you can put in frequency for headache and it will make a sound. You can listen to that in the background. It's like 528 hertz frequency. That is a sound tone. So it's sending that frequency to you. You can't hear it, but it's going in on a cellular level and so it's working on a cellular level. So we have electroacupuncture, we have iridology, we have body viewer, we have like neuro-linguistic programming, we have spiritual chakra clearing, which will clear off any blockages in your chakra with the motions that are attached. We have the spine frequency, which will, works with every vertebrae and every nerve. We also have, working with the stress and emotions. So you might have a person who has a lot of anger. So as we're balancing their spine and every emotion that comes from every vertebrae, it will pick up, oh, this person's angry or this person's fearful. So just as we balance the body, we bring those emotions back into, you know, equilibrium as being more, instead of, you know, more dramatic, you know, just bringing them back in. So there's lots of, you know, it will tell me if there's mineral deficiencies or amino acid deficiencies, or, you know, we work on fungus and different effects. You know, we can have like a heavy metal exposure, or we can have a, you know, lots of different environmental toxins that can affect our well-being, and you know, homeopathic remedies or bushflower remedies, and geopathic stresses. Yes.
Oh, okay, sure. Well, it was very, very you know, specific too when you sent me the analysis, which I was really impressed by. For example, there was one of the points that you said where you asked if I had sort of some cranial sort of like a hit to the head or something like that. Now, when I was born, my head got squashed, and it came out like a bit triangular. It didn't look good when I was born, and so it sort of got quite squashed. And I did also actually, as well, on top of that, have a ball really sort of smashed hard into my head when I was in primary school. And so those couple of things were what you indicated with the results that you found. I thought that was really fascinating, that you were picking up these specific things like that.
So we, you know, there's a lot of different bones in our head. So what I would have done is activate that program to just loosen and put them, you know, put them back in place a bit. So it compares your body to a healthy body. So that's what the biofeedback does. It sort of, it compares your body to a healthy body, and it will see what is that big main stress. We're working on all the stress, and so then it may have, you know, released some of the pressure or tension, you know, of the muscles that are holding the head into place, and you know, that this is a stress. So we're working on releasing that stress from your cellular memory.
Yes, yes. Well, I really encourage people out there to try this. You know, you're very reasonably priced as well for a 2-hour session where you work on people. I think you're 150, which is very reasonable for a 2-hour session. And then you can do continual sessions after that. What do you recommend for people in terms of like whether they have more than one session? Is it determined by what the results are that you find, or do you generally find that a few sessions are more recommended for people?
Yeah, they do say to have 3 sessions, and it can be, you know, a week apart, or 2 weeks apart, or a month apart, because everything sort of unravels from that. So it's like peeling the onion. I myself have done like over 60 treatments on myself, because, you know, it just helps pull me back into balance a lot. And
what are you saying, Tracey, that was you actually found this specific way of working with your wellness was way better than anything else that you tried, and that's actually what drew you to be a practitioner with it, because it helped you so much. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yes. So I had a lot of really stressful things happen in my life. Very, you know, well, look, it started when I was 15. I had a scoliosis, and they said to me, you have to have a steel rod in your back. And I decided, no, I wasn't going to go that way. So I always went with massage, acupuncture, chiropractic. But as I got older, I realized that my emotions, every time if I was under a mental stress, my back would get worse. You know, it's like it was a gauge for me. So massages, plenty of those, or Bowen, or, you know, crystal healings, or Reiki healings, or meditation. And I just went and tried this one out, and I was very stressed before I had it, and it just relaxed my nervous system, and just so much. It really calms the nervous system. It works with the parasympathetic, the sympathetic, and the vagus nerve. And I just felt like all the trash that was around me was cleared, and I could think clearly, and then reboot, restart again. And that was only a 1-hour treatment that I had. So it was just life-changing. When I experienced it, I thought, I have to learn this, because it was just the best ever of anything I'd experienced.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. Well, you have got a lot of training in different areas too. You work with homeopathic remedies.
Yes.
Australian bush flowers.
Yes.
You've got more than a decade of holistic healing and knowledge. I love chatting to you. But before we've had this interview, we've connected quite a few times, and you've had a fascinating journey. You lived on a sailboat for a long time, and traveled around the world, didn't you? All sorts of great things. So
yes.
you've definitely explored, this reality a lot, haven't you? The earthly reality, in order to find this as well.
Yes.
And it is often our own journey, isn't it, that lead us to what we're meant to be giving as our spiritual mission, to others.
And Medina, what happened when I lived on the yacht? You're in the elements, you're in nature, you're really you're picking a lot of energy up from the universal energies, and your intuition is really sparking. And if you're doing 40 days at sea or something, you're really in tune with the elements. And it was when I came to live back on land, and lots of things happened, that you sort of get out of that the nature flow, and then you get caught up with all this other crazy stuff, and we don't realize how so many different things affect us, until we get back to that, clearing all that stuff off, and centering again.
I totally get where you're coming from there, because I currently live on the water, and I'm next to a big conservation park. So it's nature around me, animals, birds, right on the water. And there's something about that really enhances your energy and your abilities and all that sort of thing. But when I was living, for example, in the midst of like a suburb in Melbourne, it brought a lot of the sort of inherent things within my system that were vulnerabilities up, like it would aggravate like a skin condition I had, and all sorts of things, because you've got all this intense energy of all the people there, and you haven't really got anything to sort of dissipate that energy in terms of nature. And so I found that when I was living in busy city type areas, I wasn't able to function as well. And so I know exactly what you're saying. I can really relate to that.
Yes. And I discovered homeopathy because of my son had talking about skin conditions, and I'd taken him to many different doctors and specialists, and had all the tests done, and nobody could help me. It was just like, oh well, we don't know. Oh, he's got a sensitivity to dust, or just a joke. The stress of driving to Brisbane with a 3-year-old in the back of the car, and waiting to see a specialist, and paying $500, and then walking out and thinking, well, I still know more. I still don't know anything more than what's just happened. So a friend of mine, who I used to get massage from, she'd studied homeopathy, and so then we started working with Felix with this homeopathy, and it was an incredible insight into so many things. This is vibrational medicine, they call it. So that started me with that, and then it was the bushflower essence, and working with emotions as well, because I was so stressed, and it was going into his energy field, and it was sort of like, it's just snowballing, getting worse and worse with you know, change the food, or, you know, be aware, or you couldn't take him out. I couldn't take him to the beach. He couldn't sit on the salt sand. He was, you know, and it was so, you know, as a mother, you just want to do whatever you can to relieve the you know, all that pain and
suffering. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of why that we were chatting together, and we wondered what we could offer my viewers in terms of being able to support, you know, people at the moment on the planet. People are going through so much, so much intensity at the moment, and because we're going through this very accelerated growth period for humanity, that it's really pushing everyone's stuff to the surface, particularly right now, so that all your shadow aspect or your wounding or whatever you haven't dealt with is coming up to be seen and healed and transmuted. So what we thought that we could offer the audience that are listening is potentially a workshop where you can share your wisdom and knowledge about homeopathic first aid and simple everyday remedies that people can use to really support their wellness. You actually even have a first aid kit that you can put together for people with homeopathics as well, you know, that they are wanting to create if they'd like to order one. But we thought that with a workshop like this, what we could offer people that would be of the most value to, you know, anyone listening would be how to use homeopathic remedies, important rules for handling, how to store them, things to avoid for maximum impact effect, focusing on recognizing the changing symptoms of common colds, home remedies for preventing illness from intensifying and activating the immune system to make a speedy recovery, understanding different remedies and their effects of homeopathics. This knowledge can help you to take charge of your health and feel secure in empowering yourself and being your own therapist, which I think is really important at the moment, for people to feel that they can access this themselves and through everything that we're navigating at the moment. You said we will be looking at a few remedies, including aconite, arnica, nux vomica, arsenicum album, pulsatilla. I can't say that. Pulsatilla, thank you.
Yeah.
And other remedies for fever, shivers, infection, and guiding you to a deeper knowledge of vibrational medicine. I think a workshop like that, a 90-minute workshop, will be incredible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the details up here to contact me and register if that's a workshop that you would like to attend. Then Tracey will be running it and I'll be hosting. And I think that could help a lot of people. And you also have a real focus, as you said earlier, you're very much inspired to help mothers so that mothers can help their children and help their kids. Tell me about your passion for helping mothers there.
Well, I did an aged care course, and I just realized that we need to educate people and the new babies that are coming in, and we need to help the mothers, you know, give those children their full potential of being in touch with their own vibration. You know, we can, when you use energetic medicine, it does change your vibration. So when you, like, if you notice that you've been to the beach and it's been a bit windy and the baby's sort of starting to get a bit of a cough, or, you know, you can address that immediately before it goes to a runny nose or then it gets into phlegm, you know. So it's kind of teaching people how to recognize the different stages of illness, and then you can knock it on the head before it intensifies into something that you're going to be sick for a couple of weeks as opposed for just a couple of days. So yeah, I really would like to help the mothers and the children, because they're our future, and we it's going to be a better world if people are you know, have access to this, you know, amazing modalities that are, you know, it's very empowering.
Absolutely. And I listened to a talk recently, and this fellow who was a channel, he talked about how the dark was specifically targeting humanity's health. So what the consequence of that was that when they're not in their best state of health, they're not able to really grow on a soul level. They're not able to ascend. They're not able to continue on the trajectory of going into the golden age, because their energy is too low, and their frequency is too low, and they're just focused on trying to stay well. And so I thought that was really interesting concept of why humanity has in the past been suppressed in terms of our highest wellness.
And I was using, when I was extremely stressed before I ever had the skio, I was using rescue remedy, or I was using gelsinium for anxiety, because I had a lot of, they call it anxiety before something's going to happen. I just can't think. Anticipation anxiety. And, I used to drive around with the gelsinium in my car with me because, but as soon as I had the skio, it just blew it all out of the water. It was like, oh man, I've been taking these drops for anxiety for so long, and now it's just like, oh, it's just, the veil was lifted. I still use it now, as a cushion, but it's just nice to have that, because there's so many people are, under intense anxiety or, depression and things these days with everything.
Yeah, they really are. And I'd like to make the point that you believe that some of the issues that your son had were related to this thing that happened when he was young, that we were all told to get for our children. I won't say the words, but yes. I really would like to point that out, because it makes it clear to people that this thing has got a lot to answer for in terms of our overall health now, and a lot of the young people that are growing up. So with Felix now, he's just flourishing as well, and he's doing amazing paintings, amazing music, and he's really got a lot of holistic wisdom himself. I can hear him in the background suggesting a few things here and there to say. So good on you, Felix, for being there, with your mum, on the team mum. That's fantastic. And I'd love to actually invite you on my show, because I love having young people sharing, their wisdom, because then that's a fantastic role model for other young people. So, I'm really looking forward to that. But it's really benefited Felix to really flourish now, hasn't it?
Yeah, he had a hard time at school, and and he had a hard time with his digestion. So the skio gave me a lot of information about liver, gallbladder. He was suffering from a lot of congestion, and it's very important to get the digestive system working and expelling toxins, and that was all very congested. And we went down that road of doing some big cleanses, and really he was just the next day, or I did a lot of treatments with him with the skio, but we still had to do physical things that liver, gallbladder cleanses, and changing enzymes and probiotics, and getting the gut right, and so all of those things have been part of getting him back on track. And a lot of my clients they come with a lot of gut issues because of so many chemicals on our food, and I've helped a lot of people just expel some toxins, and they get their life back.
Well, you are a wealth of information on holistic health, and that's why I'd love to be able to offer these workshops to people, so people can tap into your knowledge and your wisdom, and we can also get your work out there. I really want people to be able to access and know about what you're doing. It's fantastic. I'd like to share at the moment your website here on the screen, which is quantum energy healing sunshinecoast.com.au. There's a lovely picture of you, Tracey, and you've got your information there about everything that you're doing, and you've got your all the services and everything there. So if people would like to do the workshop they're offering, please contact me or contact Tracey. And if you want to get a session with Tracey with the SCIO machine, please contact her. I really recommend it. I mean, I think you can't do enough at the moment in terms of your own wellness, because with everything that is being thrown at us at the minute, this is the time now to really focus on your own well-being holistically on all levels. And you know, we are, I think there's so many people doing remote viewing and doing all sorts of things. I even had a session this week with my soul mastery group where we all foresee more turbulence coming up, like going into more of the eye of the storm before we are able to get to the really good bit, which will be when we've been liberated from all the dark, and, you know, the planet can go forward and, you know, celebrate and go forward in the light. So we all still have a bit of a journey to go, and we want to be at our best for that journey. So what's your recommendation for people at the minute overall, in terms of, as we head potentially into an eye of a storm with the energies at the moment, what can you share that could help support people at the moment?
Okay, so well, I guess, you know, it's a lot of emotions happening for, you know, because it's hard for us to speak what we feel, because people are, you know, there's all this opposing between Australia at the moment, you know, is all this,
yes,
it's, yeah.
with the VOICE. I don't even know if we can say the word.
That's right. Yeah, we better not say that.
No.
Well, you know, grounding is very important. You know, getting in the ocean, or, you know, getting in the nature, and you know, just have a little bit of a detox, and you know, it's very, if you're very stressed and you do have a SCIO, you're just going to notice straight away its impact. You know, I've had people like that have been, you know, stagnant at home, and they've had, you know, they've gone and had 1 or 2 treatments, and they've gone home and cleaned out the spare room that they haven't been able to do it for years. They've just got that get up and go to get going again. So I think we just have to, like you say, be aware of clearing our spaces so that our true energy can shine through, and we can be the warriors that we need to be in the storm.
And I really recommend, you know, this energy. We have to watch our words, don't we? Quantum energy work that you are doing, because, you know, I did have a session myself and it was fantastic. I did feel much lighter afterwards. Initially I did feel quite tired the next day because I was just integrating it all. And when I looked at all the information, because it was, as you sent me all the information because you wanted me to see everything, you know, it was just so comprehensive. You know, we have the wonderful work that Tom does overseas with the scalar light frequencies, but you don't get really any specific information back from that about what's, I mean, he'll say what he's working on, but he won't go in a personalized way specifically and tell you exactly what came up, which is always fascinating for people, especially if they don't necessarily fully understand how the quantum energy healing works. So I can really recommend it for people. It's a really important solution, or I don't know if that solution is the right word, but it's a very important addition that we can make to our life to really work at a deep level on so many things simultaneously. And so I really wanted you to come on the show and share with us this wonderful work that you're doing, and just encourage people to contact you, have a conversation with you, talk to you about what you're doing. even the homeopathic remedy kits they can purchase from you. There's over 80 different remedies that people can purchase, and you can specify which ones that you need for you and your family and have a kit put together. So I love everything that you're doing, Tracey. You know, I hope that we can continue to stay in touch and work together. And, you know, this workshop will be an amazing opportunity for people. Again, if anyone's interested, it's a homeopathic first aid kit workshop with simple everyday remedies for everyone, telling you about, you know, what you can do for your health with that. I think also homeopathy is really coming to the forefront of people's awareness as well. And I have said this before, but the fellow that introduced the standard big Harmer medicine to people, Rockefeller, he never saw a doctor apparently, but he had his own homeopath, and he lived to the ripe old age of 104. So, you know, that was something that he didn't tell the masses. So, you know, everyone, you know, should, well, everyone will be benefiting from knowing that homeopathy is a very, very comprehensive, unified way of working with all aspects of our wellness. And, you know, your knowledge can really help people with that as well. So thank you so much, Tracey. Is there anything that you'd like to share before we leave?
Okay, well, I would really like to thank you for the opportunity to share this information, and for your generous, you know, and to talk to me, because many people don't understand it, they're not interested, or they just think it's hocus pocus. So I really appreciate you, Medina, for everything that you are doing to help humanity to arise to a higher frequency.
Oh, and beautiful.
And Felix just wanted to add a quick thing in here.
I just wanted to mention, because I'm Felix, Tracey's son, and I do a lot of art and painting. And one thing that I can say definitely about the skio, which is really incredible for me, is that, you know, when you're doing something creative, or when you're trying to focus on something, it can make things very tricky if you've been upset by something. Or, you know, I remember I watched this one movie that was very upsetting for me, and it totally stifled my artistic and creative abilities. And, you know, after I had a skio, it totally cleared it off my consciousness and my mind. And I think that's what's the really incredible thing about this, is that, you know, you can have these sort of traumas and emotions that have been hanging around for years, stifling your energy and your flow, and they just get sort of peeled straight back away, and forget that you even had that from the beginning. And that's what I think is so incredible about it. It's sort of like it's returning you to homeostasis and a natural beginning. You can just kickstart straight back into you know, being healthy and lively, and that's what it just makes me feel so amazing. I'm so lucky I got mum doing the skio, because I can get plenty of these incredible energization treatments where I just feel awesome. This therapy is just incredible.
And, you know, Medina, they say you can't tell people, you have to show them. So he's a very good example.
And it was your love for him which, you know, pushed you in that direction to explore, you know, alternative healing things that you could do for that. So you know, good on you, Felix, for getting your mum on her soul mission as well.
yeah, that's right. we like to experiment, which is good. Like, it's good for people to be open to, you know, something new or something interesting, you know. And you know, remote healing is so much very powerful. I actually prefer to do distance, because the people just lay down and go to sleep, and I just go to it and do the treatment, and then, you know, they don't have to drive here and sit there and get hooked up and then drive home, because they can just sleep through it, wake up and say, wow, feel a lot better now.
And I know what you're saying with that, because I, for example, I thought, well, I'll get a bit of extra magnesium and zinc to take. And I bought a supplement for that, like a really good supplement, not one of the ones from the, you know, local pharmacy. but I I can't help myself. But when I took it, I had a terrible headache because I'm sensitive, and the basic pills were just too much for my system, and it was like overdosing on them, and so I had this awful headache the rest of the day. And so, you know, with this type of work, it's fantastic because as we raise our frequency and the planet ascends and humanity ascends, we are becoming more sensitive. And so you can very easily have too much of something, and then it can throw your system out.
Absolutely. And, you know, we are a living energetic field creating electromagnetic waves that can be measured. And that's so exciting because nobody ever told us about that. It was all suppressed.
That's
and,
right.
You know, those homeopathic hospitals, there was plenty of them in the USA, you know, and India still has a lot of them. And, you know, they've been squashed out. And
I know. I remember the days when there were all these fascinating alternative therapy, health related posts on Facebook.
Okay, yes.
And there were so many of them, and then they all just started getting eliminated and deleted till now you don't get any there anymore because, you know, you're not allowed to post those things. So it's been a journey, hasn't it? You know, I think as society deconstructs, you know, we have to build it with a whole new system that is aligned with our optimal health and wellness. And this is a brilliant strategy for supporting that process. So thank you so much, Tracey, and thank you, Felix, as well. And
Thank you.
it's been wonderful to chat with you. And I'd love to get people to contact us for this workshop. We won't go ahead unless we get enough people. So I do my workshops for $111 Australian, and it's a 90-minute workshop. It'll be online on Zoom. Join us. You can bring your questions about yourself, your family, your health, and we get Tracey to share all her knowledge and wisdom. And this will be a great opportunity for you to be able to really learn more about all aspects of wellness, holistic health, and homeopathy. So thank you again, Tracey. Thank you, Felix, and have a beautiful, beautiful day, you too. And thank you, everyone out there that's listening and watching this today. Please share it with, you know, family and friends that could benefit, because I will say that I had a friend who had an eye issue, and he went into hospital today, and he said it was absolutely overflowing, the number of people in there with eye issues, which I personally think are related to this that's been rolled out. And he said it was just that he couldn't believe how many people were there. You know, we're not being told this on MSM. We're not being told what's really happening out there, but so many people are having these types of things happen. And so anything that I can put out there to do with health, wellness, alternative healing, anything like that is absolutely crucial at the moment, I believe. So thank you to you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you very much, Medina, and look forward to doing anything else with you that we might people are interested in. And yeah, let's help people to make their life a higher vibration and more enjoyable and more in control of our own health and well-being.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, everyone. And I look forward to seeing you hopefully on the next video. So bye, everyone.
Bless you, Medina. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a wonderful life and existence. Thank you. Blessings to you.
Thanks, Felix. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.